Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to your mid-June oracle and tarot reading for sun, moon, or rising. I'm going to see right now who I'm talking to. I'm probably not looking at the camera because I'm not used to looking at the little dot. I'm used to looking at my webcam. And I'm also not used to filming outside, but I am. Like, I'm not that far from my house. Actually, I got on my bike and I was like so determined to do these readings outside. It's like 85 degrees, but like I'm in the shade. I found like a nice little spot in the shade. I put a blanket down on this like giant rock by the lake. This is Lake Michigan over here. You're probably gonna hear a helicopter every once in a while because I do live in the city. I'm not as secluded, you know, even though I'm by the lake and I'm by nature. Like I live in the city, so there's buildings around me, there's people around me, there's helicopters, there's boats, there's dogs, there's all sorts of things going on around me, okay? So yeah, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me throughout the video. This is going to be nice, short and sweet, spiritual guidance, straight to the point, for sun, moon, or rising sign. Probably going to be like under 20 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just really wanted to film these outside, so yeah. And I don't have my computer connected to a power source, so you know, that's why we gotta make them a little, you know, gotta compromise and not make them as long as my other ones. Okay, so let's see who I'm talking to. Who am I talking to right now? Who am I talking to? I'm gonna pull, so I'm using Taurus. Six of Pentacles, Taurus. Hi Taurus, what's going on? How you guys doing? Okay, so before we get into the tarot, I'm going to pull an oracle card from the Oracle of Mystical Moments. Haven't used this deck on my channel yet, but it's a really, really cool deck. I love it. These pictures are so pretty. So we're going to pull one card from the Oracle of Mystical Moments. I am going to be reading from the books because I do like the messages that the books give, and I'm also going to be giving my own interpretation, so just take the messages that resonate, leave the rest. If my message resonates more than what the book says, then do that, you know. You could definitely get some insight and information from so many different levels, okay? But I'm going to show you the card too. So who knows, maybe you'll see something in the card itself that makes you think of something, you know, like maybe the color, or there's some kind of symbolism, there's something in the card that makes you realize something. Go with that, you know. Experience for yourself. Like let the cards show you and guide you into other realms and other worlds and memories and fantasies and possibilities and all that type of stuff. So that is the magic of tarot and oracle. That is what we do here. We got a card that came out, and we have Rose Garden. I feel like that would be something that you would appreciate, Taurus. A rose garden. Look at how cute. Look at how pretty she is. Is her hair made out of a leaf? It looks like it's made out of a leaf. Rose garden. So the feeling that I got initially with this card was like a person who has a lot of wisdom. Okay, when I think of this young lady in a rose garden, look, my nails match. See, like the color red, maybe the color red is meaning something to you. When I think of someone in a rose garden, I think of someone who has a lot of wisdom, like within her ability to nurture a situation. But she also carries a lot of scars, okay? Like someone who has a lot of love and passion and to give, but also carries wounds and scars. And maybe sometimes the way that love and that passion comes out can also create like scars for others if they're not careful, you know. It's like creating this atmosphere where people feel like they need to be careful around you. It's like you have this, like, you've created this life for yourself that has made the people in your life maybe feel like they can't be completely honest with you, or they can't open up to you the way they want, because like, but like they admire you and they see your beauty and the love that you give, but at the same time they know that there are some thorns hiding and scars hiding, and they're afraid to trigger that. So this is kind of the message that I'm getting with this card right now, okay? Like, it's like, you know, you have lived through a lot and you have experienced a lot, and you carry beauty within you, but you carry scars within you. And those scars, perhaps you try to hide them more than you have to. Perhaps you try to hide those scars more than you even should, and you don't really see the value that they possess. So let's see what the book says. Rose Garden: sensitivity, awareness of nature, integrated whole strength. Yeah, so the integrated whole is exactly what I was thinking about in terms of like integrating the scars with the beauty. Like, don't pretend like they're not there. Everybody can see the thorns. When people walk into a rose garden, I feel like you like to just be like, look at these beautiful red roses, but people are like, okay, but yeah, there's still thorns there, you know, like you still have to be careful. And you kind of have this attitude of just like, look at the beautiful roses, smell them, without kind of warning them that they can hurt themselves. So I feel like it's about really being able to integrate the whole, to not cover up the ugliness, to not like pretend like the scars aren't there. Don't pretend like that part of you doesn't exist. Look at this beautiful woman who has transformed into a flower. She holds a red blooming rose to the place where her heart belongs. Her hair has become a leaf blown by the wind. She is a part of nature and grows stronger with her every gentle touch and loving gesture. She is not alone. Her friends, the caterpillar and butterfly, are here to visit. Thorns threaten to prick her, but she is not scared. A rose is beautiful and strong because of its thorns, not in spite of them. See that last line? A rose is beautiful and strong because of its thorns, not in spite of them. So it's like, don't acknowledge that they exist. Acknowledge that the thorns exist. Acknowledge that they're there. Don't cover them up. Don't pretend like they're not there. Okay. So this is very metaphorical. This is a metaphor, you know. So, and you know, the way that you would apply that to your life is like, you know, if you have a family, you know, like, do you talk to your family about things that you've gone through in your life? You know, do you really open up to them about like what it really took to get to where you are right now? Like, are you honest about your struggles? Are you honest about some of the pain you've had to endure in order to create this beautiful life where things are blooming and there's roses everywhere, you know? Like, and also, like, if you do have children, it is important to be honest with them about the value of hard work and the fact that life is not always nice, and it is cruel, and there are thorns, and you do have to go through struggles to get somewhere, you know? Maybe, you know, a lot of, I feel like parents tend to want to paint this like picture that, you know, for their children, or to create this life for their children where, like, you know, like I hate that whole saying of like, oh, we want to create a life for you that was better than what we had. And like, I know that I experienced that with my mom. My dad never said anything like that, but my mom would say things like that. And she would say things like, you know, we gave you a better life than our parents gave us, or we wanted to give you, but they don't really tell it, like, so she would put this idea as if we had everything easy, as if we just had everything handed to us, but then wouldn't teach us the value of hard work, or wouldn't like really sit down to explain, well, that's not entirely true. She would tell us about you know, tough times that she experienced and how life was hard for her, you know, but she would compare, the problem is that she would compare her life to our life, and you can't you can't compare. You can't be like, my life was so much harder than yours. That's not right either. It's like it's just being honest about your life and teaching your children, not making them feel bad. Okay, I know that I'm slipping off of my rock. I know I'm kind of like going off the subject just a little bit, and I started talking about myself, but I was trying to kind of create a personal example for you to go off of. But hopefully everything that I'm saying is making sense to you, and hopefully you can hear me. That's probably like my biggest thing right now, is just hoping that these videos come out to where you can actually hear my voice and what I'm saying to you. Okay. Gotta find like the right, my head is cut off, so I don't slide. I'm kind of sliding off the rock just a little bit. Let's do this. I'm gonna switch positions. Okay, that's better. Okay, so two cards. Okay, Page of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, and the pages are students, right? They're curious. They have been given the divine gift straight from the source, and they are represented by earth energy, so they are earthly manifestations. As an individual who has now been given this information, individual who has just received some insight, and it's like, well, what are you going to do with it now? Okay, they're students of life. They have to like learn. They have to teach. They have to now set out on that journey to learn how they are going to apply this to their life, how they are going to take this information. Page of Swords is all about information. It's about the intellect. It's very like Gemini, and we are in Gemini season, so this is like kind of like perfect for that. Perfect for exploring these insights further, trying to understand these insights further. So it could be, based off of like what I've told you so far. It could be based off of perhaps something that you have been contemplating lately. There could be some thoughts and something. There could be something in your life that you have been contemplating, that you have been trying to kind of like understand a little bit further, a little bit deeper, to kind of like wrap your head around, and to see what you want to do with it. Okay, it's a very curious kind of energy too. There's a curiosity to it, like wanting to learn more. Okay, something that you want to understand a little bit more, dig deeper. We have Ace of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is the divine gift. So yeah, a new beginning in some kind of creative endeavor, a new beginning in like a creative project, a creative endeavor, something spiritual, setting off on a spiritual path, perhaps, like what, trying to find that passion, or maybe like what it is that does drive your inner strength. Like, remember that last sentence, that last message that I said about how it's the thorns, the scars, right, that make the rose beautiful. So it's like rediscovering what was that initial moment in your life that set you off on this like passionate journey that got you to where you are right now. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Like you're thinking about like, what was it? If you were to share a story about your life right now, if you were to write a book right now, if you were to sit down with me and kind of explain to me, oh my God, like, yeah, this is the moment that triggered me to be like, I'm gonna go do that. Like, what was that moment? And that could be where your story begins, especially if you do have children, or if you do have people that you want to share your story with. Like, where does that story begin? And that's going to help your growth. got the Seven of Swords. This is Moon in Aquarius. A little bit of running away from yourself here. A little bit of like maybe not being ready to face those memories. Okay, a little bit of self-deception. Or, I don't know, like maybe not wanting to see a situation for what it is, like trying to still trying to sugarcoat, still trying to make things prettier than what they actually are. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. It's like facing yourself, but then being like, well, I don't want to tell that story, or I don't want to be that honest, or like, so there's a bit of self-deception going on here in terms of like kind of wanting to cover up the fact that you have those thorns. Like, you know, he's got the swords on his back, he's running away, and the angels are like, no, what are you doing? Stop hiding from yourself, you know, like stop pretending like you don't have those thorns, because you do have those thorns, you do have those scars. There's no reason to pretend like they're not there. And I feel like you still kind of want to, you know, you still kind of want to make things fluffy. You still want to, you have a hard time telling a story without making it real, and without, like, you have a hard time maybe sharing things about yourself in a vulnerable way and being honest about it. It's almost like you have this like instinct to put a spin on it in order to make it do what you want it to do. Okay, so final message for Taurus from the Oracle of Souls. Final message for Taurus from the Oracle of Souls. Final message for Taurus from the Oracle of Souls. We have Martyr, Matron of the Blind. Honesty, shame, and restitution. Are you shameful of your past? Maybe you feel too ashamed to be honest. All right. I mean, everybody has something from their past that they're shameful of. You know, everybody. And I feel like once you acknowledge and understand that, like, it's part of the human experience. There's just like, I mean, it's good to acknowledge the first, you know, it's kind of like the first step is to acknowledge that you have shame. It's like, you know, I remember this guy that I dated, I knew that in order for me to get through a certain emotion, like fear, I remember I fell so hard, like I got so caught up in my feelings for him, and I realized that I had a lot of fear. And I knew that in order for me to get past that fear, I had to be honest with him and just be like, I'm afraid, you know? To which, and you know, even though there are people out there who won't appreciate that kind of vulnerability and honesty, it's good, once you realize that it's important for your growth to be honest like that, then it doesn't matter anymore what they think. Because I remember going like, I'm scared, and he like had this whole like explanation, and I was like, no, you're not listening to me, like I'm scared, like, and he just kind of wanted to like pretend like it didn't exist, and I'm like, no, you're not listening. But anyway, okay, so Martyr, Matron of the Blind, and Mausoleo, the affliction of blindness represents a blindness of the soul. Mortals who in life believe themselves extremely keen-sighted may find themselves so stricken upon their death. If they live their lives in ignorance and delusion, their actions untampered by pity and compassion. It is the task of the martyr to care for these souls, to guide them to reflection upon their sins, shame at their previous selves, and restitution through thoughtful service and care for others. Once such a soul can see their own faults, weaknesses, and the effects of one's actions on others clearly and truly atone for them, only then can this blindness be cured. The martyr invites us to look clearly upon ourselves and our deeds and see the blindness in our souls so that we may not be eternally stricken. So this is totally exactly what I was talking about, to not be blind to your own scars, to see them for what they are in true form and true honesty, to not try to turn it into something else, because it is going to help your growth. Like, don't be blind to your own story, right? Don't try to like fluff your story because you want to make it sound better. All right. So Taurus, this is my message for you. I hope this helped. Mid-June, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, spiritual guidance. You're watching Tessa's Tarot, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.